doing? Let y'all give y'all a minute to climb up in here. Jay with open eyes was good. Good morning. Whew. Give y'all a second. One. Good morning, folkers. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Snapzilla Gorilla, welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. I see you guys climbing up in here in my chat room. Welcome, welcome. Just some quick glances, I saw that AZ Infidel was in here. Jay with open eyes. I believe Nicolette Moore, but I'm not too sure. Today is Saturday. What is it? January 23rd, 2020. 2020. It's rainy out here in Southern California. They say there might be about 2 years worth of rain dumped on California within the next week. I don't know. We'll see. I have to prepare the house, you know what I'm saying, with some weatherproofing stuff. So, you know, because all I need is for the rain to cause problems at my house. So, still didn't get my generators. It is what it is. Hopefully, one day soon I'll get my damn generator. I'm pretty pissed about that. I should have did my due diligence and find out, make sure they weren't coming from China. But anyway, it is what it is. So, Joe Biden decides that he wants to flout his own mask mandate on federal grounds, okay? Yes, he got caught, and his family, all standing elbow to elbow, no mask on, whatever the case may be, all right? They were at the Lincoln Memorial, which is federal grounds, federal land. Now, we all know this is pure hypocrisy, right? We know this is pure hypocrisy, and we all know that this is nothing new. This is nothing new under the sun. These politicians, these so-called representatives of ours, they don't feel the need to follow the rules that they put in place for us, okay? Or, you know, if the rules don't affect them really because they have certain amenities and certain comforts in place that wouldn't really affect them, right? To where it won't really affect them, like gun laws. These politicians don't care if they strip us of our rights to keep and bear arms because they have round-the-clock security, things like that, you know, or, you know, they can shut something down and lock it down and close it off to the public and still go to that place and do what they want to do in the place that they made people not go to so that they can enjoy the creature comforts of being a human being with their full rights, right? They know they're not going to get locked up. They know they're not going to get arrested. They know they're not going to get fined, right? Unless, of course, they decide they want to take a firearm, you know, into the halls of Congress, right? Which they have every right to. Then they want to give them a $5,000 fine, the first offense, and then they give them a $10,000 fine, the second offense. Fourth offense is $20,000. Something ridiculous. And I'm talking about Boebert, Lauren Boebert, right? She's the congresswoman who vowed to carry her firearm on, you know, to work. Anyway, so Biden gets caught not wearing a mask along with his family, okay, at the Lincoln Memorial after he wrote an executive order mandating masks be worn on federal grounds, okay? Now, you know, you have different takes on this, right? You have the reporter. He got called out to his press secretary. I don't know her name yet. But a reporter called out Biden's behavior to the press secretary, who, by the way, wasn't wearing a mask on federal grounds, right? She wasn't wearing a mask. But, you know, of course, she's part of the elite class, so she don't have to worry about it. But anyway, she's asked why Biden didn't feel the need to follow his own mandate. And she goes into this crap about, oh, there was a celebration, and they were happy and celebrating, and there's bigger things to worry about. There's bigger fish to fry. Okay, all right. You see, this is what happened. They blamed over 300,000 deaths due to the Modelo 19 on Donald Trump because he was negligent, this, that, and the third. He didn't lock things down fast enough, or whatever they want to blame on him. Whatever reason they want to blame him, they're blaming all this stuff on him, right? When he didn't wear a mask, when he was walking around not wearing a mask, Donald Trump, they would ask him, don't you think it would be a good example for you to wear a mask, this, that, and the third? And so because of things like that, they wanted to blame Trump for over 300,000 deaths, right? Okay, so, but when it comes to Joe Biden, it's a celebration. It's okay that we weren't wearing our masks because we were celebrating, right? We were celebrating, so it's okay. It's not a big deal. We need to worry about bigger shit. Well, what if 300,000 more people die this year from Modelo 19? Are we going to then blame Joe Biden because he didn't wear a mask at the Lincoln Memorial for that shit? Are we going to blame the press secretary who didn't wear a mask? Since people are so easily influenced by these highfalutin people, oh, he's the president, he has all this influence. It's okay that people turn their minds off and follow blindly because he's the president. So, and if that's the case, right, since we can blame high-profile people for other people doing stupid shit or doing shit that they shouldn't be doing, are we going to then blame Joe Biden if there's 300,000 more deaths from Modelo 19 this year? I just want to know that. I just want to know because, I might, if that's the case, then I can just shove off the responsibility for my actions on other people, right? Why not? Right? If I get caught doing something illegal, the guy in the music video did the same, and he has a lot of influence, and he's a big name, so therefore it's okay for me to do the same thing that he did, right? So since we're gonna go down that road, because Joe Biden didn't wear a mask at the Lincoln Memorial, every single death that occurs after that due to Modelo 19 is his fault, okay? Since he didn't do that. And let's also look at this. Let's look at this. And you know what's interesting? It's interesting that 70% of the people who are hospitalized for Modelo 19, 71%, actually always wore a mask. 4% never wore a mask. 4% never wore a mask. Some people, it don't matter what they do. They lock down, they stay in the house all day. They wear a mask. They sanitize their entire body every 2 seconds. And they still get Modelo 19. They're still contracted, right? So, I mean, if you look at things logically, and reducing the sarcasm a little bit, shit happens, right? We're making a big deal over who's wearing and not wearing a mask because they have such a high profile. They're this leader or that leader. He's the president of the United States. But why it's important is because for months they have been shaming people for not wearing masks. They have been shaming people for not following, these mandates. Not only that, they've been fining people, right? They've been arresting people. They have been ruining lives because of all this. And to see people like Joe Biden, Gavin Newsom, right? What's her name? Lori Lightfoot. All these cats, all these Democrats, right? That push these mandates and then go ahead and break them in the first place. Like, that is some BS. Okay. Now, I was watching a live stream yesterday for a hot second of, the coward Lucas, because I like to see what he's talking about. I like to see what bullshit he's pushing, because every time he says some stupid shit, it's great content, because he thinks he's saying something really intelligent. Well, actually, it wasn't even a live stream. It was a video he did about Joe Biden not wearing a mask, right? Now, he calls himself doing some due diligence, because he said at first he was pissed, which I think is bullshit, right? I think he's full of shit. He's a liar and intellectually dishonest. But anyway, at first, he said he was pissed because he thought Joe Biden was just being a hypocrite, right? But then he did some deeper digging and found out that it was like they were filming a TV spot, right? And according to them, they were wearing masks right before the starting of the filming, and at the end of filming, they put the mask back on. So then he tells people, we shouldn't nitpick, we shouldn't do this. Oh, you shouldn't nitpick. Don't be petty because your boy lost. Oh, Trump lost, so you're being petty. So he calls people calling out Joe Biden for being a fucking hypocrite. He calls them petty and sore losers because they're pointing out the obvious. So we shouldn't nitpick. We shouldn't nitpick when the very people who call for the mandates break the mandates for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what reason you do it, right? And this is why that's a stupid argument. This is why that's an asinine argument. Because if me and you decided to go to the Lincoln Memorial and we walked up in there with a film crew, right? And we wore our mask. We wearing our mask when we go up in there. If we take that sucker off to film ourselves, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think the Capitol Police are going to do if they see us in there? Because Joe Biden just put out this mandate. He made this executive order. You must wear a mask at all times on federal grounds, right? So if me and you went to Washington, D.C., to the Lincoln Memorial, and decided to film there, and as we're setting up for filming, we're wearing our mask. But if we take it off for filming, what do you think is going to happen to us? Are they going to say, you know what? They're just filming. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter if they're standing elbow to elbow. No, it don't matter. Because they're filming, don't worry about it. Let them do what they want to do. Do you think it's going to go like that? Or do you think they're going to snatch our asses up? Or do you think whatever, I don't know what the penalty is for getting caught without a mask. You think they're going to eject our asses? You think that they're going to fucking say, oh, go ahead, you're filming. As long as you put your mask back on, you're okay. Do you think that's going to happen? Tell me, do you really think that's going to happen? And do you really believe that Lucas thinks that's okay? No, he's just being a nincompoop, right? So what I'm saying is, rules for thee and not for me. If Joe Biden did that because he don't give a shit really about the mask, right? He don't really believe that they do anything, right? Him and his whole entire family, everyone that was there for the shoot. If they really believed in what they were selling, they would wear a mask for the TV spot. Oh well, wear a mask. Show the world that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you're following your own mandate. Set an example by wearing a mask during filming for everyone to see. But no, he took the mask off. If they were really if they really believed that the Modelo 19 was like that and that the mask actually worked, they would not take that sucker off for filming or otherwise, would they? So to say, oh, well, you guys are being petty because he was just filming something and before he filmed, he had it done when he did. Now, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Get out of here with that. Y'all can miss me with that nonsense because, see, anyway, so did that, do you think we would get the same courtesies? Do you think we get the same leeway if we got caught without a mask in Lincoln Memorial for whatever reason? Or do you think they would be just as petty as the people calling out Joe Biden? Only the consequences for us not wearing a mask would be greater than what Joe Biden is facing right now. You understand what I'm saying? People are just complaining. They're not doing anything about it. He's not getting arrested. He's not getting fined. People are just complaining. And then you get his press secretary. And even the press secretary did not use the excuse of them filming. She just said they were celebrating. Oh, they were celebrating. We got bigger fish to fry. She didn't even use that excuse because it's a dumb one. Even the one that's celebrating excuse, it was a dumbass excuse. So what you have is people like the coward Lucas going out their way to cop a plea. He's copping pleas for Joe Biden. For what? Right? He's so-called a conservative. He's this, that, and the third. That points out yet another inconsistency in his so-called ideals. He's an actor. Anyway, moving on. So, and this is another point. If you guys are aware, they kicked the troops out of the Capitol building, right? They kicked them out and made them go to a parking lot. There's a lot of speculation as to why this happened initially, right? One such theory that's going around, one such rumor that's going around is because one of the representatives saw a guardsman somewhere without a mask on. So, and the dude was like, nah. And he brought it up to the guardsman. He said, hey, you're supposed to be wearing a mask right now. The guardsman said, nah, man, I want to be free. I don't want to wear no mask. So then that led to the pettiness of, isn't that petty? Oh, you don't want to wear a mask? Okay, well then we're going to kick your ass out into the parking garage with one bathroom and however many troops. Do you think that's petty? See, so when you say we're being petty for calling Joe Biden out because he was filming his TV spot, that is the most ridiculous argument I ever heard in my life. We're mad because anybody who says they have a problem with Joe Biden flouting his own rules, according to the clown Lucas, you're upset because Trump lost the election and you're being petty. Oh man, like I tell you guys, man, I tell you. Let me tell y'all something. This dude Lucas, it's people like him, right? And he's in the majority, unfortunately. And this is why I stay on it. This is why I stay on his head, because more and more he's exposing his mind state, right? And his hypocrisy, right? It's people like him, because they're in the majority. They'll be the biggest problem. They'll be the biggest obstacle towards reaching freedom, right? It's not going to be the tyrants. It's not going to be the few that want to control everything. It's going to be the people like him that give them the leeway and that attack the people that truly want to be free. That's the biggest problem. Okay, so when you point out Joe Biden breaking his own rules, just so y'all know, y'all are petty and mad because Trump lost. Okay, that's why y'all mad. Y'all ain't really mad because he's being Joe Biden's being a hypocrite and all that. No, you just mad because Trump lost. Let me see what y'all talking about real quick. Yep. Nicolette Moore. Yes. So they also want people to take the crack scene for $1,400 stimulus. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Because they know it's complete BS themselves. Exactly. All the mask mandates, all the face flag mandates is a test of obedience, and to get us to do this, then it opens up the doors to even more ridiculous laws to strip away more rights. Yep. AZD Infidel says, if you remember the Ukrainian Revolution, at the rallies, they would have people jump up and down to prove they weren't Russians. Yeah, that's crazy. Nicolette Moore said Hank died from the Hokey Pokey. Well, he died after he took the Hokey Pokey, that's for sure. Gotta be a tyrannical dictator to do what you want. Yep. Don't take the Hokey Pokey, the Minus Parable says. Chelsea doesn't exist says agree 100% if it were serious. Exactly. Adam Courier says, man, they made all them guys sleep in the garage too. Yeah, I know that. Yep. It's ridiculous. Chelsea doesn't exist says my family has been harassed and refused service mostly because the kids weren't wearing face flags. It's crazy. How you doing, Tina Hardman? Hold on, I'll be right back. I got to get something out real quick. Okay. So the question is this, to wrap up that whole BS with Biden. The excuse is, oh, they were celebrating. Oh, they were celebrating. Let's see. They were filming something and had the mask on before and after filming. That's the excuse. That's the reason. The question is, to end all that BS, is would they allow us the same leeway if me and you were to do the same thing? If we weren't politicians or some VIP person or somebody who's, part of the elite class, do you think that we would get away with that for those reasons? Or no? Nick and poop. No, it's not. Anyway, so unfortunately, Hank Aaron, one of the greatest baseball players ever to do it, black baseball Hall of Famer, passed away. He was over 80 years old, okay? He was over 80 years old, but 2.5 weeks before he died, he took his second Hokey Pokey, okay? He took 2 Hokey Pokeys, right? He took both rounds of the Hokey Pokey. After the second round of the Hokey Pokey, he died 2.5 weeks later, all right? Now, what's interesting is when he said the reason he took the Hokey Pokey, right, when he got it done, is to show black people that it's safe. All right, it's not funny, but to show black people that it's safe to take, that we should take it, this, that, and the third. Follow the expert, do what the experts say. Take the Hokey Pokey. It's safe. Look at me, I'm doing it. Only to then die 2.5 weeks later. Okay. And what's interesting is after that, right? He takes the Hokey Pokey, dies 2.5 weeks later. And despite that, the health experts still urge us to take the Hokey Pokey. Well, Hank Aaron did die 2.5 weeks after getting the Hokey Pokey, but you should still take it. Like, I don't know what level of stupidity they think we exist on, but I would say that 80 to 90% of people on Earth are probably stupid enough to agree with that, because they'll say, what will they say? Oh, they'll say, oh, he was 80 years old. He was 80 years old, blah, blah, blah. Can we really blame the Modelo 19 Hokey Pokey for that? If he was 80 something years old, blah, blah, blah. But when you say, well, most of the people that die from Modelo 19 have a comorbidity and is over a certain age. Can we really blame Modelo 19 for that? Or do we blame the comorbidities in their age? We can't say that, but we can say that the Hokey Pokey is now responsible. You understand what I'm saying? Do you see where the disconnect is? Do you see where the hypocrisy is? Like, it's so blatant and obvious. Like, oh man, I just don't get it. Like, I don't see how people continue to fall for this BS. I just don't see it. If you give the Modelo 19 Hokey Pokey to a person over 80 years old and they die from complications complications due to side effects that the Modelo Hokey Pokey can cause, and they were otherwise healthy, right? He was relatively healthy as an 80-something-year-old man, right? Whereas most people who die from from Modelo 19 itself are not very healthy, right? Are not very healthy. Yes, sometimes they say you have people that are young and healthy as hell and have no comorbidities. They say, sometimes that happens. That's what they say. But for the most part, their immune systems are compromised. They're not very healthy. But we have to dismiss the idea that the Modelo 19 Hokey Pokey caused these deaths. But we don't do that with the Modelo 19 itself. It's just, the inconsistency is glaring. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just thought it was very strange that they would still push this, knowing that this happened. And then, of course, you had the 23 people. I don't know how many people it totaled out to be in Norway, but 23 people in Norway passed away after getting the Hokey Pokey, at least so far. Then you have California. They want to halt 300,000. They want to halt the distribution of 300,000 Hokey Pokeys in California. So what conclusion can you draw from all these things that are going on? Right? What conclusion can you draw? Right? I'm not going to tell you what conclusion you should draw. I'm asking you, what conclusions can you draw from all these incidents? What's the sum total of everything we've been witnessing in regards to these Hokey Pokeys? Are they effective? Are they dangerous? Right? Do they cause problems? What can we draw from that? Are they useless? Like, do they cause no effect? What do we think is going on here? When a doctor gets the Modelo 19 Hokey Pokey and goes to the hospital because he's not feeling well, and they check his blood and there's no platelets in his blood, an otherwise healthy doctor, the conclusion I draw from this is that the Modelo 19 Hokey Pokey has only been tested, is only, according to them, it's only been in development for what, going on 9 months? It was only in development for 9 months. And there are already a number of problems related to these Modelo Hokey Pokeys. The conclusion I would draw is that I ain't taking the goddamn Hokey Pokey. The conclusion I would draw is that they're dangerous. That they're not good for you. That we don't know the long-term effects of the Hokey Pokey, right? Let alone what it would do what's going to be the effect once they distribute it to 10 or 20 million people, right? They want hundreds of millions of people to take the Hokey Pokey. What happens when you reach 100 million, 200 million, 300 million people have gotten the Hokey Pokey? I think it's only then that we'll see the true effects of what this thing is going to do to people. All right, let me see. Read a couple of y'all comments. Let's see. Tina Armour says 2 weeks later, Hank Aaron died. Larry King had the Modelo 19. He died. Oh, Larry King died? I knew he was sick. I didn't know he died yet. Adam Courier says they will put you on that vent too, but I've yet to hear someone live after going on the vent. I've heard of people living after that. I know my homeboys knew somebody who was on the ventilator and he got off. And then my wife's cousin's baby mama was on the ventilator and got off. And she's alive. So Chelsea doesn't exist. Comments is rare, I guess. Very rare. Tina Armour says, so we not getting stimulus unless we get the Hokey Pokey. Is that what you said? That's something that they want to implement. One senator wants that to be a requirement to receive the stimulus package. The stimulus check is that you have to get the Hokey Pokey. Okay, so let's see. Why do we have to be shown? Chelsea doesn't exist as propaganda whack. There's something in it if they pushing it. Yeah. That's what I think. China, the minus parable says 80 years old is pretty. 80 years old is pretty old. Yeah, it is pretty old. But see, who do they say they want? See, who's on the priority list, right? Who's top on the list of people they want to first get the Hokey Pokey? Older people. Yes, they were fine before they took the Hokey Pokey. Nicolette Moore says he showed up, huh? What are you referring to, Nicolette Moore? Try, buy, sell it, make it. Says, hey, what's going on, man? Link Hellefeld says, the ones who have the power to feed you have the power to starve you. You create your own jobs and grow your own food. Word, real shit. I saw an article where many people in India reacted horribly to it. That's crazy. I gotta look into that. We've had 3 die so far in India. Well, that's crazy. I gotta look into that. That's crazy. I'm not a doc, but their own science, you can find it. Why the rush? Could be a number of reasons. Has anyone heard any more about Tiffany Dover, the nurse who had passed out, the one who people believe has died? I know they said that she didn't die, the hospital director or whatever where she worked, and then they said that they posted a picture with her celebrating with hospital staff, but I haven't seen any videos of her or anything like that after that. I haven't heard anything about her coming out herself and saying that she's alive. So I need to look into that. Let's see. Link Hellfeld says, once you take this Hokey Pokey, they probably have something in the future that they put in the food, in the water, and causes some chemical reaction. Or maybe even radio frequencies, right? Maybe radio frequencies. You know, maybe a certain radio frequency would cause a reaction. AZ Infidel says, my ex-brother-in-law survived being on the ventilator for a month in a coma. Jesus. Mine's Parable says, synthetic RNA protein, pass. Yeah, me too. I don't want no parts of that. AZ Infidel says he was in terrible health also. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're in terrible health and your immune system is compromised, I mean, a cold can knock your ass out. A freaking, you know, like anything can knock you out. There are people with lupus that get sick. They get put on their ass every time they get something. Every time something happens to them. Tina Armin says, soon as Bill Gates gets his farm running, they're going to make gardening illegal. You know it. You know it. That's probably one of the what the fuck they call that? One of the steps or something. Yep, Hank did show us. There's a death certificate for that nurse. Word. Frantel. Have you seen the death certificate, Frantel? Because I would love to see that. If you could send it to snapzillagorilla@gmail.com. Snapzillagorilla, SNAPZILLAGUERRILLA. So Snapzilla with 2 L's and Gorilla with a GUE, 2 R's and 2 L's at gmail.com. LA Times story 2 weeks ago, 40% of COVID-19, why did I say that? Of all Modelo 19 are elderly in nursing homes and long-term care facilities. That comes to 155,000 elderly deaths. That's crazy. Yep. So anyway, I'm gonna get off this for now. I might get back on the way home, you know, just to continue this discussion and maybe talk about something else. There's a lot going on, as usual, all time, all day, every day. There's something going on, some agenda being pushed, whatever the case may be. So I'll get up with y'all a little later. Stay up. Depending on what the weather's doing tomorrow, I'll be doing a Rucking Live, but I might be doing it in a different location because when it rains, the stairs gets, you know, the path on the stairs, and it all gets kind of wet, and things be shifting around and all the other stuff. So we'll see what happens. You know, tomorrow I might be just walking through the hills, you know, by the house or the stairs, whatever the case may be. But it's not supposed to rain tomorrow, so it'll be all good. Yeah, I might even do it even if it rains a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Screw it. You know. Anyway, much love to you guys. Talk to you later. Stay up and stay prepared, so you ain't got to get prepared. Peace.